In the dead of night on February 23, 2000, in the small town of Shelby, North Carolina, a 9-year-old girl named Asha Degree disappeared without a trace. It was a chilling mystery that would grip the nation for years to come, one that still haunts the small community and remains unsolved to this day. Asha had always been a bright and cheerful child. She was described as a well-mannered, hard-working student who loved school, her family, and her friends. On the night she disappeared, she had gone to bed like any other night. Her parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, had no reason to believe anything was amiss. Asha had no history of running away or acting out. But when they woke up the next morning, they discovered that their daughter was gone. Her disappearance wasn't noticed until early in the morning. It was a rainy, stormy night, and the Degree family's house was quiet. Asha's room, just down the hallway from her parents', was empty. The bed, neatly made, gave no sign of struggle. Her shoes, jacket, and other belongings were all gone, but there were no obvious clues as to where she had gone or why. Her family was left in a state of panic, unable to understand what had happened. There were no notes, no signs of a forced entry, and no reason why Asha, who had always been so close to her family, would leave in the middle of the night. As soon as Asha was reported missing, the community, law enforcement, and volunteers all sprang into action. The search began immediately. The police conducted a thorough investigation, and the local community came together to search the woods and surrounding areas. Despite the urgency, no trace of Asha was found in the first few hours, which only heightened the sense of dread and confusion among everyone involved. The first breakthrough, if you can call it that, came when a witness reported seeing Asha walking along a nearby road later that morning, well after her disappearance was realized. This sighting would soon become one of the most debated aspects of the case. Asha was seen walking alone along Highway 18, some distance from her home, around 4 a.m. Her small frame and wet clothes made her look vulnerable, but the witness said she was walking with a determined pace, her head down and seemingly unaware of her surroundings. The witness didn't approach her or stop to help, and by the time they returned to the area, Asha was gone. Despite this lead, the investigation did not provide any further answers. In the days that followed, the search intensified. Volunteers, neighbors, and police officers combed through the area. And then, in a twist that made the case even more bizarre, a few days after her disappearance, a backpack belonging to Asha was found hidden in a nearby shed just outside of town. The discovery was strange for several reasons. The backpack was dry despite the heavy rain that had fallen the previous night, and the items inside, such as her school books, a pen, and other personal items, seemed perfectly in place. Nothing appeared to be disturbed, and there was no obvious sign of any struggle or foul play. However, it seemed out of place for Asha to have been carrying the bag if she had simply wandered off. The discovery of the backpack only raised more questions than answers. The idea that a 9-year-old girl could have walked several miles in the rain and left her belongings in such an orderly way didn't make sense. There was no sign of her anywhere else, and no one could understand why she had left home in the first place. Theories began to emerge. Some people believed that Asha had run away, perhaps due to some kind of argument or issue at home, but her parents and those who knew her well were adamant that this was not the case. There was no history of troubled behavior, no indication that Asha was unhappy or looking to leave. Others suggested that Asha might have been abducted, possibly by someone familiar to her. But there was no evidence of a kidnapping, no ransom note, no phone calls, and no apparent connection to anyone who might have wanted to harm her. As weeks turned into months, the investigation grew colder. Law enforcement continued to explore every possibility, but they could not uncover any new leads. Local police and the FBI became involved, and Asha's case was featured on national television programs. But still, no one knew where she was or what had happened to her. Theories continued to swirl. Some believed she had been abducted and murdered. Others thought she had run away and was living somewhere under a different name. But no one knew for sure, and the town of Shelby was left in limbo, unsure how to process the unsolved mystery of Asha Degree's disappearance. Then, in 2001, nearly a year after Asha disappeared, a series of unsettling phone calls added another layer of complexity to the case. The calls came from a man claiming to have seen Asha at a truck stop. According to the caller, Asha had been seen sitting in a car with an unidentified man, looking disoriented and frightened. The tip was vague, and investigators couldn't verify the claim, but it added another twist to an already confusing case. As the years went by, the case continued to go cold. The Degree family never gave up hope, continuing to search for their daughter and keep her memory alive. Every year, they held vigils, hoping that someone would come forward with new information that could solve the mystery. But despite their efforts, Asha's whereabouts remained unknown. In 2015, a break in the case came when a local man was arrested on unrelated charges, and during the investigation, new information about his possible involvement in Asha's disappearance surfaced. But after an extensive investigation, nothing conclusive was found linking him to Asha's case. The man maintained his innocence, and once again, the case went cold. Asha's disappearance remains unsolved, and the questions surrounding it remain just as mysterious as they were when it first happened. Was Asha abducted? Did she run away on her own? Did she meet with foul play? Or did something more supernatural happen that night? No one knows for sure, and the people of Shelby and Asha's family still cling to the hope that one day they will get answers. In the years since Asha disappeared, the case has become a haunting reminder of how easily someone can vanish without a trace. It also serves as a tragic example of the dangers that children face in our world and the importance of always keeping a watchful eye on the ones we love. For now, Asha Degree remains a missing person, a mystery without closure, and a family's endless heartache. The story of Asha Degree is a chilling one, but it's a story that continues to demand attention, and perhaps, one day, the truth will finally be uncovered. Until then, the mystery of Asha Degree will remain locked in the vault of unsolved disappearances.